What's up, everybody? This is another episode of the Ambitious Writers Podcast, and I have an ambitious writer right here with me, Dakota Forsythe.
Forsythe.
There you go. All right, awesome. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Hold on. All right, a little more up. Yeah, I got some buttons here. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
What technology has come up with nowadays.
Little applauses.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This guy right here is not only been in the fire service. Well, I'll just get into it. He's a wildland firefighter. He has been in structure firefighting. He's an EMT, and he got some big plans for this upcoming year. So we're going to get into that. Not only is he in the fire service and he is a first responder, even though if you're not affiliated with a company for so long or an organization for so long, I still consider myself a first responder and an EMT and a wildland fireman, even though I'm not in Oregon right now. But this guy is a cowboy, and that deserves another round of applause.
I wouldn't go that far.
That far, he's like, yeah, I wouldn't go that far, guys.
I wouldn't go that far.
I love it. I love I don't know if you can put it like plural, but the humbleness within that.
No, I mean, I'd say I wouldn't call myself a cowboy, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, you got your old school cowboys that cowboy every single day. They're running ranches, they're hauling cattle every single day, doing the cowboy stuff. That's a cowboy. Mm-hmm. And I just I play cowboy, we'll say that.
Have you done that before, though? Have you, like,
ran a ranch?
Yeah.
No.
Have you dabbled in that, like, growing up?
Yeah, so my brother, a lot of people know it, Brooks Forsythe, yeah.
Shout out to Brooks.
Yeah. So when we lived in South Carolina, he worked on a little ranch, and I'd go and help them like often. But besides that was kind of the farthest on that side of things. He's a lot more cowboy than I am.
Okay.
But yeah, man, we grew up in it. Like, we started riding sheep when we were like 3 years old. Started getting on calves when we were probably 8, and then we were in sports pretty much our whole life, playing baseball, wrestling. He played lacrosse, football, just anything we could get our hands on, really. So we kind of got away from the whole rodeo side of things. And then when we both graduated, we really started hitting it hard. He started fighting bulls. I started riding bulls. Came out here to go to college at Alamosa to ride bulls for Alamosa.
Is it pretty popular out in Alamosa?
I mean, it's cowboy. It's definitely a cowboy kind of place for sure. But I wouldn't say it's popular.
Okay.
I was the only bull rider that Alamosa had. It was the first year that they even started having a rough stock side of things. So a lot of colleges, they have, your ropers, your team ropers, your roughies. And they had been, I think they had team ropers and barrel racers, stuff like that for a couple years. But they wanted to bring the rough stock side of things in. And anyways, I stayed there for a year and came back, started working school. It just wasn't for me at that time. I had no idea what I was doing. Didn't know anything really of where I wanted to be with my life or anything. So
okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so I came back here, and then me and Brooks hit the rodeo trail for a while. But,
was it professionally?
Yeah, here and there. A lot of it was Brooks, definitely professional.
I want to get him on here, but when you say pro with bullfighting, there's a difference. I know. What's the level of status you guys were kind of riding with, or Brooks?
So the farthest up that I tried to go was just CPRAs. It's called Colorado Pro Rodeo Association. So pretty much just all of Colorado, but he went pretty much everywhere with Bullfighters Only, UBF, Ultimate Bullfighters. Yeah. But he'd go to Vegas. He went to finals in Vegas for both of them quite a bit.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's cool. You'll have to get him on and talk about that stuff.
Yeah. How old was Dakota at this age?
How old was Brooks?
You.
Oh, I was when he was going to finals and stuff.
How old were you when you
Started riding?
Yeah, when you graduated, like.
So when I graduated high school was when I started riding like a lot. I'd been on bulls like during the summer times and stuff since I was 8, and then I was 18 years old. Like I said, went out to Alamosa. I was 20. I stopped riding bulls about 2 years ago is when I stopped riding bulls. So I'm 27 now. So yeah, we went hard for 5 or 6 years. He did it a little bit longer. I just found a profession that I loved, and I knew I wasn't gonna be, a PBR bull rider, or I wasn't gonna be a champion riding bulls. I couldn't make a living off of it.
What does that take?
What's it take?
Yeah, for an individual, what do you got to go through to be a champion?
It takes a gritty toughness that just is unheard of. It takes getting run over and stepped on by an 1,800-pound animal, and then the next night you got to get back on again. It takes getting run over and stepped on and getting up and walking out of the arena. Whether if you can walk, you better get up and walk out for sure. So
any trips to the hospital for you?
Yeah, couple.
Major?
Won't go too deep into it, but the boys down there, they got a little bit
scuffed up.
The boys got a little ripped open for a while, and so that's what I was talking about. When they ripped the boys down there, we had a bull riding up in Nebraska that I was winning at the time, and I wasn't not going to go. They had Henry rifles and a bunch of money added, and I was sitting in first. So I was like, yeah, we're going.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so with the ripped open boys, we hauled to Nebraska, and I'd gotten them all stitched up. And we get so they were all stitched up, and they wanted me to go to the hospital, but I wasn't going to the hospital.
You were ripped up?
Yeah, down there on the boys, man.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, the boys down there, they got ripped open.
Holy fuck, man. Damn, props to that, man.
Yeah,
props to that.
So we go to Nebraska, and I thought it was, a good idea to fill my pants full of cotton balls, to kind of padding it up down there, because I had to walk. I didn't want the boys to even touch my leg.
Yeah.
It hurt real bad. And put some cotton balls down there, and all of it just stuck to the stitches. Yeah, I fell off like a fat girl there. Anyways.
Jesus.
It was just it was a mess.
Oh man.
But it was that was probably the worst.
Okay.
It,
Wow.
The boys ain't fun to get stepped
No.
on. Not by 1,800 pounds of brutal force.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Wow. Wow, son. Props to that. Jeez. So when you found out bull riding wasn't your thing, was it the fire service? You're like, all right, next best thing?
Yeah, man. So this time period when I stopped riding bulls, trying to figure out who Dakota was as a person was just a dark, nasty, dirty place for me.
How so?
When I was riding bulls, I was doing drugs. I was smoking weed all the time. We were partying all the time. And I didn't know, left from right, up from down. And I didn't know what I wanted to even do with my life.
What age were you? What do you do?
So this was 3 years ago.
Okay.
It would be about 3 and 4 years ago is kind of the time frame that we're talking right now.
Okay, so you're 20. How old are you?
27.
27.
Yeah, so I'll say 24 and 25.
When did you graduate high school?
I graduated high school at 18.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
2014 is when I graduated high school.
And is that when you went to bull riding?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
So during this time, I grew up. Going to church and stuff, and my grandparents, my mom, everything. We'd go to church every Sunday, and it was more of going through the motions for me, just going with the family,
I can relate to that.
It was just, it's what we did. I didn't quite understand all of it, but I knew, like, I was curious about it, but I didn't, like, quite understand the whole thing. I knew that there was a God somewhere, and I just didn't quite understand it. So during this time period of the life, I have been in a dark, nasty place. I started going to church by myself, and I'd just sit in the back, and like just asking God for help. Like, hey, if you're real, like, I need, like, show me something. Like, I'd pray. And people talk all the time about, my grandparents used to tell us, if you talk to God, you listen, he'll talk to you. And I never understood that. I couldn't understand. I'm like, they say all these things, but I've never heard you talk. I don't get it. I do not understand. What's it mean? And I finally I gave it all, and I was like, show me something. Give me something. So a couple weeks later, I went on a guide trip, and I was helping a guy elk hunting. We went on an elk hunt, and I was helping guide. That was kind of my little job, and so I was a cook. Really, I was cooking, but I was still learning kind of how to be a guide and stuff. So we'd been there for about 5 days maybe, and hadn't seen even a sign of elk. I mean, just nothing. No footprints, no rubs, no nothing. Didn't hear anything. And they kept on the guides kept taking our hunters down to the same spot. And so I don't know if you remember about 3 years ago on Halloween, that huge snowstorm that happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the time frame. So this day on Halloween 3 years ago, I was like, you know what? We haven't seen anything. I'm going to hike up where our camp was right in the middle of a bowl. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hike up this ridgeline, take this ridgeline up to the top of the mountain, kind of glass, and see if I could see anything. It was a beautiful day out. I just had a sweatshirt, hoodie on, and I had a backpack with my Bible and like a lighter and some other, like, just little things, but I didn't take another jacket, didn't take anything, because it was a beautiful day out. And so I get up there, and I'm just sitting on top of the mountain, just glassing, and maybe 30-45 minutes of me being up there, a huge fog storm rolled in, just out of nowhere, just out of the blue. And when I mean it rolled in hard and fast. Came and sat down right on top of our camp, and I couldn't see 10 yards in front of me. So okay, I got to get down off this mountain. So I start down this mountain, and wasn't going down this mountain but maybe 20 minutes. And it started blizzard. I mean, it went from not snowing to just a full-on blizzard in a matter of minutes. So at this time, I couldn't see, 2 feet in front of my face. And, like I said, I followed that ridge line up. So I was like, okay, I'll just follow this ridge line, try and keep following this ridge line, and hopefully I'll just run right down into where I'm supposed to be at. Well, little did I know that ridge line takes off way to the left. Kept following that ridge line way off, and I got lost, and I mean lost bad.
Oh, man.
So not only was I lost, like, emotionally, at this point I'm lost. Legitimately, physically lost.
That's
like,
never good.
And it was the scariest moment of my entire life. It was probably 2 o'clock at that time. I was getting lost, and I was only had a sweatshirt on, like I said, and it was coming down, and it was packing on fast. I started hiking around and kept going in circles. I'm like, how is this happening? How do I keep going in these circles? And like, where am I? I can't find anything. And here sun's starting to go down, and I'm kind of freaking out at this point. Like, sun's coming down. It's a blizzard. Snow's not gonna stop at any point. I had a pistol on me. I was trying to shoot my pistol in the air to try and get somebody like to hear me, and I'm sitting there screaming and yelling and like just trying to get somebody to hear me to try and direct me if I was anywhere close to anything. My gun was frozen up.
Oh, goodness.
Gun was frozen, wouldn't shoot. And so I kept on walking, and I was really getting scared at this point. And sun was totally coming down. I mean, it was almost down. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to find somewhere to just camp out for the night. That was the plan. So I start walking, and I find this cabin. I go first an old homestead. Get up to it, walk inside, and the roof is gone.
Oh, man.
The roof is gone, and it's just, I mean, snow coming down. I'm like, I felt so much hope when I seen that homestead, and then to get inside, I was just so bummed. I was devastated. So I was like, all right, well, keep on going. Kept walking even farther, and I ran into another one. Same deal. Man, sun's going down. It's gone at this point, and I am starting to lose it. I'm crying. I'm like, I'm going to die out here. Like, this is not a good situation at all. So I just kept on walking for a while, and I was praying, like, Lord, help me. Like, this is, I am in deeper than I have ever been right now. I need something. I need your help. And kept on walking, and I was just trying to find somewhere to camp out for the night, really. And I was starting to get dehydrated. I was starting to lose my mind. My face was a sheet of ice. My hands were frozen. I was starting to get frostbite. And this thought kept coming into my head, you're going to die out here. Every time that thought would come into my head, another voice would come into my head saying, you're not going to die out here. This is exactly what you've been training for your whole life. Just keep on moving, and you're not going to die. Keep moving.
Was it like a rite of passage kind of thing?
Or what?
Like a rite of passage?
What do you mean by that?
Like, you said you've been training for this your whole life.
Yeah, so
as far as like a manhood kind of thing. Like, it truly made you a man that night.
Yeah, so I'd been running like Spartan races. I did a lot of Spartan races for a while. I was running like 15 miles, 10 miles, doing a lot of Spartan races, and that's like I've through those I found like how far I can really go and how far I can really push myself. And that night was the true test of all of it, because at this point I'm up to my knees in snow. I mean, if you ever walked through snow before, you know it is not easy, man. It sucks. So like I said, I started getting that voice in my head, and at that point I finally was just like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna move all night long until the sun comes up, and hopefully I keep myself warm enough that I don't die. Well, you keep walking that far and stuff, and you're out there for that long, and you're just watching it happen. That thought keeps on coming into your head. You're gonna die out here. This is not a good situation. You're gonna die. And again, every single time that thought came in, you're not gonna die out here. Keep moving. You're fine. Keep moving. I was sitting there. I was so dehydrated. I'd already drank all my water. I was eating snow, and I was getting tired. So I just had my head down and just walking, because like I said, I was just going to try and keep moving for the rest of the night. So for hours I just sat there walking with my head down and like just trying to keep myself mentally there. And I remember I got so tired. I was so tired that I finally just stopped, and I finally just like picked my head up, and there was light. and I didn't know what it was because all you could see was, I mean, it was a blizzard. You could not see anything. So all I seen was this light. And like I said, this whole way I just been praying, like, Lord, just help me right now. Give me something. I need your help now. And that light, when I picked up my head and I seen that light, I dropped to my knees, and I probably cried harder than I have ever cried in my entire life. And just praying again, going back and thanking God, and I got myself back up. I had no idea what it was that I was walking to, but I walked to that light, and it was my camp.
Oh, whew.
It was my camp.
That's wild.
So I walked in, that light was on my tent. And I walked into my tent, and all the hunters and the guides were standing right there around the stove. And they looked like they'd seen a ghost. I mean, I looked at them like, I don't even, at this point, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's pitch black. It's been a blizzard. Like, they called search and rescue. Search and rescue couldn't do anything. It was snowing that hard. They were not sending out anybody until the morning.
What were they thinking?
They thought for sure that I was dead. Like,
what were they thinking when you arrived? Was it like, damn,
they literally just, like, with blank faces, like, what, where have you been? Like, and I was like, I don't know. I have no idea where I was. I went up that ridge line and somehow just got super turned around really bad. And they had called my dad, and they called my mom and my brother and just everybody, like, hey, your son is, like, he's in a bad place right now. Like,
what was your family thinking?
My mom was ready to get on a flight. She lives in South Carolina. My dad, he, that cowboy mentality, he was scared to death, but he, like, kept it together and told my mom pretty much, like, there's nothing that you can do right now. Like, you don't need to come getting on a flight to come out here. Like, there's nothing anybody can do for him right now. Like, he's knows what he's doing. I'm sure he'll be just fine. Was not fine, but it was not an okay situation, man. But so I was able to finally talk to my mom the next day, and dude, I've never heard my mom cry so hard in my entire life. Like,
damn.
She thought that I was dead. I was gone for sure. My brother definitely thought that I was gone.
That's wild, bro.
It was bad, man. Like, that snowstorm was no joke. I can remember it and walk through it, like, just sitting here thinking it's like I just remember it so vividly, and, like, the wind and the snow hitting my face, and the feeling of my hands when I got into that tent and I, like, tried to get myself warm. I couldn't even talk to anybody. I couldn't say anything. Went to my sleeping bag and grabbed my sleeping bag and went and just laid down on the ground right beside the stove and, like, passed out, dude. I was, like, did not say anything to anybody. Like, I couldn't even talk. I just grabbed my walked straight in, grabbed my sleeping bag, took all my clothes off. Actually, they had to help me take my clothes off because I was just a sheet of ice. Yeah. And I got into that sleeping bag and I laid down, and that was all I remembered for the night. I was gone.
Ooh. So did you see, like something just told you, like, hey, like, you're gonna be all right? Like, someone was just, like, there telling you, or, like, you saw something?
Dude, I wouldn't say that I saw anything. It's more of I felt this, like, at some point throughout, when I got told to just keep on moving and you're going to be just fine. Like, I don't know where would that pop into my head from, Like, somebody was there with me, and it was God. God was right there with me the entire time with his hand on my shoulder and a voice in my head and telling me, you're going to be fine. Just keep walking and I'm going to guide you. And like, God works in mysterious ways, man. When you're lost like that, he uses the earth. He uses the land as a way of doing that, of reaching people. And I truly believe that day was his way of reaching me. Like, hey, come back to me.
Yeah.
So, things after that just started unraveling for Dakota. Like, I got back, I was okay, and got back off the guide trip, and I come home, and so I get this message a couple days later after being there. I get this message on Facebook. This lady messaged me on Facebook telling me, hey, when are you going to come to my police academy? And I was like, I'm not. I was like, I'm not going to your police academy. And she talking about through PCC. And if you don't know, PCC is Pueblo Community College. But so she's like, well, why not? And I was like, well, if I'm going to pay money to go to an academy, like, I'm gonna go to a fire academy.
Yeah.
She's like, huh, well,
What
it's
was
funny
that?
that you say that because we have an academy starting up in 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't help me. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, that's a very short notice, She's like, well, I'm going to have the chief call you and set up an interview with you. And I was
So
like,
the fire academy?
Yeah.
Was this, which chief was it?
Weber.
Okay. Who was the other chief? Was it still Adam?
Atterbury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This wasn't long ago then.
No.
Like 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yep.
Damn.
So, yeah, so he calls me and he starts talking to me and like just asking me questions about myself, and I'm like, sir, I'm just gonna stop you real quick. Like, I don't want to waste your time, my time. Like, there's no point in this. Like, I don't have the money to pay to go to college, like to go to this academy. Like, I'm sorry, this is in 3 days. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, there's nothing. Like, I'm broke. I don't have any money for this. So, he's like, well, we have options. Like, there's financial aid and all this stuff. And hang on 1 second.
Oh, you're good. Take your time.
He's like, there's financial aid and all these other options to help you. And I was like, sir, I can't get financial aid. For one, like I said, this is in 3 days. Like, you think that I'm going to be able to get approved for financial aid in 3 days? Like, that's not going to happen. So he's like, well, just give it a chance, and I will talk to you in a couple days. So I talked to my brother about this, and then I talked to my stepmom and everybody about this, all my family pretty much, and being the freaking awesome, amazing brother that he is, he stepped up and he was like, hey, like, I don't have much, but like, this is what I do have, and like, take it. And so he did that. And then my stepmom, she had some in her retirement, and she poured it into that as well.
That's nice of them.
And I started at the academy in a couple days, and he got me all of my certifications and stuff to start being able to apply.
That's awesome.
And everything. Yeah, it's super cool.
Did you get your Fire 1 cert, state?
I did,
What
yes.
about your hazmat?
Hazmat as well. Hazmat
State?
ops, Fire One, and then I started going no, that's awesome too. During all this time, like Beulah fell into my lap as well. That's when I moved up to Beulah, and like still there's no words to be able to even describe any of this, but and I know
You can
some
pull
people
that.
might sound crazy, but
That you can pull that. Get some.
yeah. So Beulah, I ended up finding this place in Beulah around the same time to rent, and they have an amazing fire department, volunteer department. It's a couple people are paid, but the majority is just all volunteer. And
Do you still do anything with Beulah to this day?
no, you have to live in district.
Okay.
So they helped me pretty much get started, man. Like Beulah, Chief Ware is just amazing. All the people that work over in Beulah are they're all amazing. Everybody's wanting to help each other and grow each other and make everybody better.
Good.
And so yeah, that's where I kind of started out, and then I graduated the academy, and I started Wildland with Atterbury, and I think it was like Colorado
State Wildland or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't even remember. I went on one roll with them, and
How was that?
it was tough. We'll just say that.
Was it really?
It was tough for the fact that we barely even got out of the truck. Gotcha. And when a guy, like there's a lot of smoking cigarettes in there, and I was sitting in the back and all that cigarette smoke and stuff. It's just I just couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up like talking to these guys at the deployment that we were on, and they were there from Colorado Springs, and they had a fire department. So they picked me up with them right after that, and I started deploying with them. And that started pretty much everything. Also, amazing guys, really, really amazing guys, teach you whatever and whenever. As long as you're a sponge in this industry and you want to learn, there's always going to be people ready to teach you.
I love it.
They're going to be right there ready to teach you anything you need to know, anything you want to know. So so right out of the academy, I started fighting wildland fires, and I learned more in that one summer than it taught me a lot in my career. And so during this time, what's that?
More so than school.
Oh yeah, man. There's nothing like the hands-on real deal, Like you can go to school all you want to, but until you can get your hands on it, I don't think that you truly know if it's something that you want to do or not.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants, what kid don't want to be a firefighter?
Yeah.
When you grow up and you want to dress up as a firefighter and stuff, but
until you do it.
If you are those people, go check it out before you go getting into school and stuff. Go check it out. Go do a ride along, man. Do a ride along. See exactly what these guys do.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that goes on in this job that people don't understand, and for you to be able to see that and then make your choice whether this is truly something that you can do or not.
When you say a lot of stuff goes on that people don't understand, do you mean the bad side of the first responder?
Man. So
because there's egos for sure. People have their own arrogance to it. You got old schools and hotheads who are just like, hey, if you're not wanting to go this full time, or you're not wanting to commit 100% to the fire service all the time, even when you're off duty, then hey man, this isn't for me. And then you have what was I getting at? Just in general, like I like the fire service, but I have a different like point of view on the fire service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so?
Since I started this, I've always had like a hustler mindset. This started back years ago. I went to the fire academy too, and that was real fun. But I've always wanted to do something outside of the typical 9 to 5, but I've always wanted to be in the fire service, you know, and do something in the fire service. I don't know what, because there's just so much to it. You got search and rescue, you got the rescue company, you got the ladder company, you got just the typical engine company, you got the wildland crew, you got the tenders, you got the people who drop, you got the aircrafts on wildland, you got the people riding dozers, you got a whole bunch of shit, man, in the fire service. Yeah. Especially in wildland, dude. There's so much. I didn't think could go into fighting a wildland fire. And then I started like seeing, I mean, you see everything at camp. You got the dozer crews, like I said, you got, you know, the aircrafts they don't stay at camp, but they come in when needed. And there's multiple in an hour. And it's just like one after the other. You got helitack crews. There's a smoke jumping crew. They didn't jump in, but they came in to assist and put it looked like aluminum foil around one of the lookout towers. There's so much shit. So, I mean, but I like...
You ever wrapped one before?
No, have you?
Oh, man, it sucks.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks. You got this big old roll, and it is, man. It's just like aluminum foil pretty much, and you just wrap, and wrap and wrap and wrap. It's like wrapping a huge present. It sucks, but it's well worth it.
Do you think so? So if there's like a really intensive like heat source around that area, like flames that are just giving either direct flame contact or like you just got shit burning. Do you think it's gonna protect like the structure or like there's?
Man, it depends. It truly does depend on your structure. You know, is your structure defensible? Like, do you have what all do you have around your house? Like, you got trees hanging clear over your house. Like, do you have a wood pile stacked right up next to your house?
That's true.
Like, it just depends. Like, is your house defensible or not? When you anytime you walk into a wildland fire, they say, okay, I want you to protect this house, and this house. You automatically, what do? Scene size up, right? Okay, this house, we got it's not defensible. We can sit here and we can wrap this thing before the fire gets here, but I'm not staying here. There's no escape route. Like, there's one way in and one way out. So I can wrap this thing, but I'm not staying here to defend it. You know, is there a safety zone next to that house? If there's no safety zone that you can't get to quick enough, it's not defensible. I'm not staying here at this house. You know, so it just depends. Like, I've seen some burn up with it, and then I've seen some that have made it with it. Yeah. And it scorched all through both of them. Yeah. So it just depends,
That is true. This one, specifically speaking for the one I saw them, I didn't see him, but the one they executed that on, it wasn't gonna, if any flame touched it, it would have been okay. Because it was like a lookout, and it was super high. Everything around it, surrounding, was like really rocky, and it was on like a ledge or like a ridge top, and the closest fuel source to it was like, I mean, when you're up there, everything looks miles away, but it was probably within a mile. Even then, it was just like little brush, you know, and then trees were kind of scattered along with it. So, I mean, it was...
I'm surprised they had jumpers.
I know, like on that one specifically. What, like, why? I know, I was like...
Because I've been real bored.
I know, seriously. I heard the call. They're like, oh, we got smoke jumpers coming in. I was like, oh, shit. On the radio, hearing that shit being a first time, I was like, that's cool. And then, like, hearing about what they did, I was like, why did they do that? That's not cool at all. I mean, they got paid. Cool. That's cool. But
when I was in California last year, one of my division soups, he was a smoke jumper.
Yeah.
And man, that dude, just one of the most solid guys I've ever met in my life. He was such a down to earth guy. He was cool. Have you ever talked to him?
The smoke jumper?
Yeah.
No. A hot shot. Yeah. Actually, he's a soup for Pike up in Monument. crazy encounter. Well, not crazy, but the wildland community is so small. So to me, it was crazy. Again, being a first time rookie, it was like, oh shit, I'm in a suit for my shot team. Fuck. I feel like a shot now. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. I was just taking weather, but still, it was cool as fuck.
Cool, man. Nothing like spinning some weather up.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. I enjoyed it because I got to learn about behavior of what's going on, and I just got to analyze the fire. I mean, I was on an engine that role. It was technically 2 roles, but it was a whole. I was there for like 25 days, and then I spent 1 role with the hand crew, and then
Grayback has a engine?
they got engine, they got tenders, they got chippers.
Really?
They got the whole 9 yards. It's a crazy.
I just thought it was all hand crew stuff.
Yeah, they definitely expanded. I like Grayback. I mean, you get what you get out of the experience, but I mean, people say what they want to say about the company. Of course, you're gonna have some mixed reviews and bad reviews.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed my time there. You know, of course, it was a small town, small rural suburb fucking type shit. 300 people within the town we're at, like where we were staying at. And then the base was 20 miles away from where we were at, and that was like 1,500 people. So real small, but I mean, I enjoyed it. It was real cool because there's nothing like that feeling, you know, just being out in the middle of like where nobody kind of knows where you're at, and like it's so small, like, and we all lived with each other too, so we all got, you know, kind of built a nice relationship with each other. It's just it is what comes with the job, you know, kind of thing. But I enjoyed it. Going back to what I wanted to do, and then I wanted to jump back into what I asked you. So I like the medical field. When I got my EMT, I took like a real hard interest in the medical side, like the anatomy, physiology, and pathophysiology. So, I mean, learning through it, I did struggle with school. I won't lie. You know, I'm not like the smartest, but with what I wanted to do, I definitely fucking reached my goal.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed learning why the body works the way it works, and why a person, if they become unconscious for some reason, or if they have like some type of trauma, how that affects the body in some certain way, in some degree. So I just got more interested in like the medical calls, and I was like, all right, cool. I know like the fire service is moving this way, so I'll just adapt to it. I mean, ideally, who wouldn't want to work in New York? Because that's just badass. 6 fires average on a day, you know, on one shift. That's awesome. But reality of it is we're moving towards a more 70-80% medical setting within the fire service.
Try bumping that up to 90.
Yeah, I know. Numbers are growing each year. I know. I like to say 70 and 80 because I like to give it the benefit of the doubt, but reality of it is 90% of it is all medical.
Yeah.
But within those medicals, you'll see some traumatic shit. You'll see some dark shit. So that's the next thing I wanted to get into, because we touched on that. But like the shit you see, like the rescues, you can go on rescues where people, like the experiences you had in the winter, that winter time, you know, and that search and rescue team could not perform because it was a blizzard, but they still got that call, and they're like, hey, we're gonna need you. But they made that decision. But still, shit like that, it's so diverse. There's so much shit you can do within like EMS, and just like
a jack of all trades and a master of none is the fire service, man.
Isn't it?
Like,
because you can take your EMT and go elsewhere. I've been thinking about the military lately, and when I say military, I mean like I don't want to just like do typical stuff in the military, like tech or like whatever they're doing. I mean, I got my EMT, I can go work in a hospital. People say the Air Force, but I'm thinking like Special Forces. If I'm going to do it, I've always had this dream since I was a kid. And then I switched it to the fire service because I was like, my dad told me a whole bunch of stories, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to take a life. And then now, kind of going back to it, I've been seeing a lot of videos and just the work they do, the type of training they get, that's another one. And just the stuff they do is just uncompared to any other average individual. And it's just, I feel like that's something I can hang my cap on. It's not necessarily something I feel like I mean I can do, you can, but it's like, it's awesome. I want to be able to push myself to that level. And I feel going through that type of training, like you said, is like a rite of passage. Like, it takes you through another level of kind of finding yourself on what you can do and where your barriers are within your own,
Oh, yeah.
within you. So, like, with the fire service, going back to that, I've been kind of jumping around here and there. You do see a lot of shit. So when you say, like, bad experiences or, like, the bad side, what do you mean on that?
You see things. You see a lot of things that an
So
everyday person isn't gonna see.
Like, like, if people are interested in the fire service, like you discussed, but they don't know, like, everything to it. So yeah, just speak on that.
I mean, when you're sitting there, there's nothing like, and everybody's, you'll never forget the first person's face that you had to sit there and pump his chest. Like,
that's very true.
You'll never forget that person. And that is
very true.
It's true.
Very
there
true.
is nothing like sitting there and pumping somebody's chest that you have no idea, trying to get a heartbeat back. Like, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something deep that is hard to do. It's hard to wrap your mind around. You see kids that go through things that you're just like, why is this happening to that kid? Like, nothing like seeing a kid turn blue and not, like, their parents call you because they need help. They have no idea. Mm-hmm. Those are the cool times. There's bad times, and then there's really good times where it makes the whole job worth it. Because I don't care, this is the best job in the world. It is the coolest job in the world. Like, all the bad stuff, the good things outweigh the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So jump on a rig, go see what they do. Jump on an ambulance,
Mm-hmm.
Go find out. You've been with AMR, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're not with AMR.
No,
anymore,
so
right?
I got a job with AMR, and then they did a background check, and then I had something they didn't. Well, not them, but like the corporate company did not want me to be employed because of that on my background check. So they had to let me go. Nothing like to AMR or anything like that. It was just like HR stuff. But I have done rides with AMR, and I hopped on a rig. The rig was Station 1. I've done some rides with them pretty often. There's nothing like it. There's a different side to it. But the good outweighs the bad. I know what you're saying. Every time I've ridden specifically with fire, it's always been a good time at the table. It's crazy how many memories are made at the table and just like chilling in the lounge and just enjoying the time with everybody around. But then once that call comes and then it's time to go to work, I hear that phrase. I've heard that phrase. It was a video, but it had Rescue 2 from New York, and he's like, they're going on a call to a fire. He puts his flashlight on, and he looks at the camera. He has a sick old mustache. He's like, it's time to go to work again. I was like, I love that video. Anyways, when they do that and they get there, it's all strictly professionalism. Just straight, like, hey, depends on the situation, too. It's like a pretty shit show. I'm like, all right, yeah, we're not fucking around here, pretty much. Like, we're gonna get to the job, get shit done. We're gonna get down, and doesn't matter if anybody's watching us. We gotta get this taken care of, kind of thing. They're the ones doing it, so the public sees what they want to see, and if there's, like, realistically speaking, in any hypothetical I'll speak on my hypothetical situation. What is the situation? But, like, if you're going into an apartment building and 911 shows up because someone's unconscious in their apartment building, and you have all the neighbors come out,
all the looksies.
Yeah, everybody's like, what's going on, huh? We're not worried about that. We're worried about, hey, this is the address, right? Cool. Where's the patient? All right, let's see what's going on with them.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. That, like, it's you create this brotherhood, and that brotherhood is just the coolest, most amazing feeling. I worked at Rye for a while, and we created my shift. We created a family, like a legit brotherhood. And I know that if there's it don't matter if I call one of them, they're gonna show up. And we mess with each other. We have fun. But then when it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work.
Yep.
And we're all three right there together,
Yep.
and hit it head on.
Yep.
So that's the coolest part about it, man. This job just creates just so many brotherhoods that it's cool. Everybody's ready to help in any way that they can.
I agree.
I will tell you though, if you are looking at the fire service, it is a patient, hardworking waiting game. It is a waiting game. There's so many people that give up on it because it takes time. Like, it truly does take time. I applied for Pueblo City right out of the academy, pretty much. Right out of the academy, I went and applied. And then 2 years later, they give me a call like, hey, are you still interested in a position? I'm like, yeah, of course. And so it's those things. But it's doing those things in the middle while you're waiting, preparing for rain. I heard this actually today on a movie. One farmer, there's two farmers, and they're in a bad drought. Don't have, they're hurting for crops. Well, one of them's preparing for rain, and the other one's just sitting around waiting. When it rains, who do you think's gonna get their crops? That person that's putting in the work outside. And so go volunteer somewhere. Go, yeah, you might not get paid, but you're creating those bonds with people. You're meeting people. You're gaining experience, and there's a lot of things that you can be doing in that time frame. And you won't regret it. It's definitely a process, though.
I agree.
It's a process.
I'm still being patient. I'm putting so much work in. I put in so much work already, and nothing. And it's like, at this point, some might feel, and I won't lie, I felt this before, like, why am I still doing this? Why am I still pursuing this career? Why am I still keep pushing to be a fireman, like a structure for a department, when all I'm getting is just like nothing right now? I got my EMT, cool. Thought I'd be there. All right. Did an internship, cool, awesome. Applied to multiple places, sweet. All right. I feel good about it, No's, every single one of them. Internship, cool. AMR worked out for a little bit. Didn't work out after all. Wildland was good. It worked out. But that's like Wildland. It's not structure. There's two different things. It's two different ball games with that.
For sure.
I like them, but ultimately I want to be structure for sure. Because it's the most diverse.
All right.
Well,
like, I can definitely tell you from my experience, like, on a deep level, for real, God's got a plan. God's got a plan for everything, man. Like, and, He can shut one door and open up another one, but you can't shut one and open one unless it goes through the big guy upstairs.
That's what I've been thinking lately too, man.
And when one door closes, another one is going to open. And you just got to be patient and willing to, like, and this is something that I've been going through pretty hard in these last few, months, weeks, turning it from why me to, okay, God, where are we going? Like, what are we doing? I'm ready. Like,
gotcha.
I'm ready. And dude, it don't matter where you come from, what you've done. Like I told you, I used to do a lot of drugs. Like, I was gone, and all it takes is a little bit of reaching out and like, God, what's going on? What are you doing? Where are you in this? Like, where am I? What, like, it's just a simple question, and having a conversation and knowing that God does love you. Like, He truly loves you, and you have a reason that you're here. And if you truly believe that, then you're going to go forward. but you got to be willing to give it up, man. Like, I have been through this process of, building myself, and then, you're like back to the fire service things. You see things and you want to go back to your old ways, and like picking up a bottle or something, and I just going back to those old things and stepping back, man, it just never works. It don't work for me anyways. And some people it works for, and some people it don't.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, it just don't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate feeling like I'm going backwards. I want to be pushing forward in everything that I do, being a better man for my family, my friends, for myself, like building myself to become somebody that God is gonna entrust with His kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because at the end of the day, we're here for a short time, but the bigger picture is upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, like, if I could tell you anything, like, reach out to him. Like, hey, where are we at?
Mm-hmm.
This is the things that I want. Where are we going?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I need something, and it takes just that reaching out just a little bit, and you'll start getting answers. Mm-hmm. It might take some time, and it's a patient waiting game, man,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucks. It really, truly does stink, man. Like, waiting and not knowing where or what is going on in your life is like, it's a scary feeling,
Mm-hmm.
But when you do have that hope that, hey, like, He's got me,
mm-hmm.
and we're going bigger places now,
mm-hmm.
that's something to look forward to,
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that a lot. I've been thinking about that a little bit too. Like, as far as one door closes, the other one opens. Like, a lot of stuff happens in 2 weeks. A lot of stuff has happened in 2 weeks, within like 2 months. I won't lie. That's just kind of how it goes. But I feel like deeper down, there is a plan bestowed for me. So that's,
hell yeah, there is, man. Hey, me and one of my buddies, we're starting a men's group on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just gonna do Bible studies and hang out and just fellowship, and it's we're calling it the Lion's Den.
Oh,
so
sweet.
Just a group of guys getting together and just tackling life head on with each other. So Wednesdays, if you don't have anything going, dude, come join us.
Every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do some food.
I won't lie to you. I'm not like a religious person, but as far as like manhood, like I've always been fond, not necessarily like masculine or like, I don't want to like, I will say, but like misogynistic or anything like that revolves around like men are superior. But I feel like as a man, we have a journey we go through, and there's like a barrier in some part of our lives that we have to surpass to get to that next level of manhood. There's levels to it. You can't just be a little boy for forever. You got to grow up. You got to go through certain experiences in life that are going to make you a better person, a better man in the end, as far as me. And with women too, like you said, with that experience in the winter. It's a real good experience because it tested you mentally and spiritually. And at the end of the day, I mean, spiritually you won, and that made you a better man. That was like a rite of passage for you. That was like, okay, like, this is what you've been training for, kind of thing, So don't you worry, because at the end of this trial, you're going to be a better man.
Yep. And
you're going to be a lot more one with yourself and with reality, and spiritually, you're going to be okay. And from here on out, you're going to have, a header or higher head on your shoulders on, where you want to go in life and kind of stuff like that. So I've always been fond of like that. I don't know, you can call it philosophy or anything like that, but just like being a better man, like how can I tackle these problems head on? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know you say you're not religious, but dude, the door is always open. If you ever want to just come check it out, come hang out with us, dude. It's open. Come hang out. We're gonna do it at 6:30 Just hit me up. I'll send you over the address, but it's like 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
It's about over by like 30th Lane.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
No
cool,
worries.
man. It's a bunch, just good group of guys. You know,
Good.
together.
Yeah, I like networking too.
Yeah.
So it's always good. Awesome. I'll hit you up about that soon, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
We're just
not
gonna
take
eat
up.
some food and
Yeah.
hang out and
Not take up on that. Of course, like I'm gonna have to,
Yeah, you got to, man.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You got to come and check it out at least once. And if you
Exactly.
don't want to come back, don't come back.
Yeah,
There's no hard feelings.
no hate. Yeah, exactly.
For
I love
sure.
that. See, I've always been like a fan of Freemasonry. Have you looked into that at all? Freemasonry, like Masons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I don't know too much about. I'm not gonna like talk about them like I do. So if I get anything wrong, I apologize. You can correct me and you can just like let me know. But from what I've gathered and what I know is it's a strictly male, like I think fraternity, right? Is what it's called. That's the oldest living fraternity in I think either the world or the U.S. They've been going on since I don't know the dawn of time. There's like stories. If you become a Mason, you'll be introduced to everything, but until then, if you're not a Mason, all you hear is just stories. It's like word of mouth kind of thing. So, but once you're a Mason, you know all the stories, and it's like cool. But it has to do a lot with like manhood. Like they blindfold you when you first get introduced and like have your first ceremony, because it's supposed to be like an awakening for a further I don't know realization of manhood, of who you're supposed to be. Like it's exposure to your journey before you. And Masons are very, very known for building like architectural buildings, like the Washington Monument, probably the White House, shit like that. Very
Right
like
on.
known places in America and outside of America as well. They're very known. They built a lot of buildings here. They were affiliated with see, I can't think. The Local 3, the museum, right there in Abriendo. That's where they're at. So right next door they have the lodge. That's what they call it. And then they built that building and the old fire station right there in Abriendo. So that just kind of goes to show how connected they are with like surrounding like local other connections. Like with the fire department, they built the building for that fire department. Like you're not just gonna ask some like Joe Schmo like, hey, can you build this building?
Right.
Like you're gonna have to like have some establishment and like a name for yourself before someone comes up to you. So that just kind of like gives you a little idea of like Masons they're low key, but they're around. Like they're like, some say they're the Illuminati because on the dollar bill they have like their own fucking like that logo. I don't know, has something to do with it. See, you won't know unless you're a Mason. You won't know, but it's like, from what I've heard, it's nothing bad. I don't do anything bad, like fucking all the crimes you see. I mean, that's probably some other people taking it out of hand, but I know a few Masons, and I mean, of course, there's a lot of politics involved in it, but in general, it's just like a little brotherhood. Little men just get together. They share stories about their weeks. They connect. They're like best friends, pretty much, but they get in depth into the history of Masonry, and
Nice.
I feel it's cool because I want to know more about the history of Masonry. Like, why are they so like known? Like that's what I don't. And why are they so? I like the idea of like manhood, like not like crazy, but like how, like I said, like you gotta go through a lot mentally, spiritually is really what it is. Spiritually, to kind of get to know the real you at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. Like, and seeing that's where my belief comes in is like I'll put you through these tests and these times of your life to make you come out stronger. And you look at people throughout the Bible, everybody has their time where they were tested and pushed and went through just traumatizing stuff, and then come out being better. One of my favorite people from the Bible, Samson. I don't know if you know that story of Samson, man. But so this dude, strong, like man's man. So when he was born, an angel came to his parents and said, "Hey, you're gonna have a son, and you're not to put scissors to his hair." And
what does that mean?
So you're not supposed to cut his hair. Don't cut his hair. And they gave him all these different rules, but I won't go into all of that. I'll just give you the short and basic, down and dirty. But this guy, he has this long hair, and he is strong. God gave him strength through his hair, and pretty much told him, "Hey, if you cut your hair, you will lose your strength." And so for a long time, he went, and he's supposed to be a man of God, is what God's brought him there, to be a man of God and do things for him. And he was just like us, man. Like, you got temptations. He loved women. He wanted to fight. Like, he was an angry person. He was a person that wanted revenge. And something happens to you as a man, you're like, you get mad and want to just lash out. And so he gets married to this lady, and she come to find out he didn't want to be married to her. And he ends up with another girl named Delilah that he fell in love with, and she kept on asking him. He got into a fight, or he got into some stuff with killing these guys, and I think they're Philistines or something along those lines. But the Romans came back, and they wanted him gone. They were mad and wanted him gone. So they talked to Delilah, and they're like, "Hey, we need to figure out what the key to his strength is. Like, why is he so strong?" So they go, and she comes back to him, and she's like, "Hey, so how do you, why are you so strong? What's the key to your strength?" And she goes through, and or he tells her lies and says, "Okay, well, this is the key to my strength." So she goes back, tells Romans come back and try the stuff that is that he told her, and it don't work. He's still got his strength. Delilah's like, "Okay, I trusted in you, and you made me look like a fool. What is the key to your strength?" And she did this about 3 or 4 times, and finally Samson gave up. Samson gave in to her and gave up his secret of, if I cut my hair, then I'll lose my strength. So they come back, and Samson's laying in Delilah's lap. Delilah brings him in, and they cut his hair, and he loses his strength. They take him to a jail, and in this building are pretty much all the empires, and your big dogs in there that is threatened by Samson. And Samson's sitting there and is praying, and he's like, "Lord, give me the strength one more time. Give me my strength back one more time, so that I can take this whole building down with me." And that was significant, because in the past he had lashed out and did stuff using his strength, and without it going through God. And this time he entrusted in God, and he ended up taking down more people than he had ever taken down before. But in doing that, it killed him as well. He said, "Give it to me one more time. Give me my strength back one more time, and I'll take this whole place down with me." And he did. and it's a cool story, man. Like, it's a super cool story.
You're about to pull it up?
Yeah, if that's cool with you,
pull
man.
it up, dude. Yeah, of course.
Let's see. If I can. This Bible's super cool, man, because it was bought for me as a present for like the first year of being lost in the mountains.
Oh, sweet.
And
Nice.
like, it's a study Bible, so like you can pick somebody in it and say, okay, I want to like
Study
look
them.
at. I want to look at, this. I'm struggling with this. Where can I find this in the Bible?
Oh, cool.
Or I want to study on Samson. Where can I find him in the Bible?
That is cool.
It's super cool. If I can even find it here. Sorry, man.
No, you're good,
I
dude.
should have gotten this.
You
together
are
earlier.
good. Don't even trip.
He's cool though, man. Like, Samson was my dog when I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, I was infatuated with him. Like, I don't know why. I didn't really know much about him, but I knew that he had long hair, and when I was born, I came out. I had a mullet, and I had a wicked old mullet, and that's how people knew me, man. And so, like, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but when my dad, he wanted to take me and give me a haircut, and I was not having it. I hated it. And okay, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Is this your personal journal?
It is, man.
Nice.
Yeah. My
That's
mom,
sweet, man.
she got it for me. I love like the old school paper.
Yeah. I like
pretty
that.
cool.
It has some nice character to it. Go ahead.
So, anyways, my dad takes me and gets me my haircut, and I thought, dude, I was devastated. I was like, oh no, like, I'm gonna lose my hair. I'm sitting in the barber chair, just like
Crying.
bawling, dude. I was all sad, and I thought for sure I was never gonna be strong again, because I was kind of stocky as a kid, and I thought that I was so strong. I'd do push-ups every day and sit-ups, and
It is the hair.
then I got
How do you
my
think
haircut.
Thor was so powerful?
Right? It is, man. It's the hair, bro.
I know.
So this is kind of a little bit of a rundown of Samson, and it's labeled as appetites out of control.
I had a crazy old mullet too. Sorry.
Oh yeah, dude.
That shit was
Yeah,
wild.
I remember that. So it says the National Football League has a message for ambitious coaches. Do you want to win? Then you first have to master yourself. And trying to explain why many ball clubs refuse to hire coaches with serious weight problems. One general manager asked, how can you demand self-control from players when you don't have it yourself? The NFL was the first organization to espouse this principle. The need for self-control comes right out of the Bible. If one man from the Old Testament shows how talent and promise go unfulfilled due to a lack of self-discipline, it has to be Samson. Commonly known as the strongest man who ever lived, Samson received his awesome physical might from God so that he might liberate his fellow Israelites from the opposition, I think that's how you say it, I don't know, of the Philistines. From birth, Samson's parents were instructed to rear him under the strict rules governing a Nazirite. So if you don't know what a Nazirite is, it's people, like, I didn't even know what it was until the other day when I was reading this, and they're like appointed by God from birth pretty much, and they have all these like rules and laws that they had to follow back then. It was kind of crazy, man. Like, it is super crazy. So they have it's called the Nazirite Pledge or something like that. You have to check it out, but it says someone whose life had been dedicated to God in a special way. The Bible says that Samson gained his great strength, particularly through keeping a vow never to cut his hair. Although from an early age Samson enjoyed a special touch from the Spirit of the Lord, he never mastered his raging appetites, and that neglect eventually led to his death. Consider 4 areas in which Samson's lacked self-control. He was a lustful person. When Samson saw a good-looking Philistine woman, he demanded that his parents arrange a marriage to her despite their warnings. When the marriage didn't work out, he slept with both a prostitute and a treacherous woman named Delilah. He was greedy. Samson tried to use an unfair bet to force his fiance's Philistine friends to enrich him with expensive clothing. He was angry. Samson frequently reacted to bad news by flying into rage, and I don't know about you, but that's how I've been, like, just, when I get mad, like, I don't think before I react, and I feel like that's
I'm a
just
very mellow guy.
Yeah, I am trying to get to that point where.
But that has a lot to do. I don't think my parents enough for like how I turned out.
Yeah.
Now reflected on everything, it has a lot to do with my dad. I won't lie. It was definitely my dad kind of bestowed that upon me real young. If anything happens like that, like any conflict, just just in general, just keep a positive mindset. Go about life not looking for trouble, and you won't, look for
Right.
trouble. If trouble happens, try to diffuse it. And I mean, so far,
That's
I've been
awesome.
pretty mellow,
For sure. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. That's something that as a man for me I've recognized, and something that I'm working on, but he liked revenge. Samson lived and died for revenge. He loved to say things like, "I won't stop until I get my revenge on you." Samson's lack of self-control eventually prompted him to tell Delilah the secret of his strength. She gave him over to his enemies for a bribe, and he wound up blind and in a Philistine's prison. They gouged his eyes out when
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so they gouged his eyes out when they took him in.
Wow.
And the saddest line in his whole story is this: "But he did not know that the Lord had left him."
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, Samson died along with thousands of taunting captors in a final act of revenge. He led Israel for 20 years. Imagine the winning record he could have amassed had he learned to control his appetites. What sort of greatness could he have achieved if only he had self-control? We'll never know. But we do know that he proved true to the statement of one ancient Greek philosopher. And it's quote saying, "No man is free who is not a master of himself." Dude, that quote hit me, like,
hard.
Smacked me in the face. And I was like, dude, like, that is the truth, man. Like, if you can't control yourself in a time of anger, like, you don't truly have control of yourself, And that quote just, it absolutely, like, got to my soul, dude.
That's good, dude. I'm glad.
It's cool,
awesome.
man. Yeah.
I wanna touch on something real quick, and then go into another subject. I want to know how Cowboying kind of has shaped, like, your manhood and kind of like your mentality and how you tackle challenges and situations.
Man, it's just like there's a toughness that it creates, like, and I don't know if that would be from just I honestly, I think it's just how being born, like, I don't know if being, like, cowboying played a factor in that, or if it's a mental, physical toughness that, I think that I've just pretty much had and gained a lot of over my years. Like, we grew up fast, man. My brother and I, like, we had to grow up fast. Like, it's just the way life was. It's the cards that we were dealt. And
Was it a rough lifestyle growing up? Or
no, I wouldn't say it was
a lot of
rough
dynamic
one. Just
stuff
a lot of change. Yeah, when my mom and my dad, they split up, it just everything just was always changing.
What age were you?
I was in 6th grade when my mom and dad split up, and then like my mom worked just as much as she could to be able to provide for us. So we just amazing woman,
Strong mother,
strong mom, man. Good. Like she, I think out of I won't even put that toughness on Cowboy, and I'm gonna put it from my mom, dude. Like because my mom is one of the strongest people I know.
Awesome.
Just when you just get beat down and you just keep on getting back up. Back to that cowboying thing, and you get bucked off, you get back on your horse and you go again. Like that's exactly what she did with life, and kind of instilled it on us, really. So I wouldn't even put it on Cowboy, and man, like it's just the way the cards fell in life is what gave me, I think, my mental and physical toughness, I would say.
Nice.
Honestly.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to your mom, dude.
Yeah, man.
Strong ass mother.
Strong mom, man.
Hell yeah, I love moms. I love how women can keep being so strong in those times. It's like we don't see that. We see like a smile on their faces. We don't see like them in their weak moments. And same goes for men. You do see moments of weakness in women and men, but I feel they keep it going. We need women to keep us strong.
They definitely keep you going.
They need us to keep them strong too. Like we both need each other. There's a spiritual intertwined factor where it's like we both need each other for these deeper spiritual purposes, not for this is just a hookup, or like shit like that. There's a purpose for this. Like there's reasons why, like being a strong woman like that rubs off on me because it makes me want to be a stronger person and kind of hold myself up to that standard too, but still be there for that significant other when they're going through those times. But I like that. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, man.
Are you single or are you taken? Or would you prefer not to say?
We'll go with it's complicated right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's another story for another day. But
gotcha.
Yeah, I would definitely say. Honestly, I'll go with I'm taken.
Okay.
Right now, I'm
very
madly in love with somebody.
Good, nice, nice.
She made me a better person.
That's good, dude.
So I know what you're talking about. You need each other, and there's so many things that you can bring to the table, and that women will bring to the table. You're like, I never even thought about that. Thank you.
Crazy, right? Crazy shit. I know.
Yep.
I know. It's
she's an awesome girl.
Good, nice. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, but we're gonna just say keep it. It's complicated right now, but we
don't gotta go into detail.
She's definitely the love.
Yeah,
love
a good woman.
Life. Very good woman.
Good. That's all they need to know. That's all they need to know.
She's the one that got me this.
Hell yeah.
She got me this year.
What's
pen. That? It's a pen, man. It's
Is
a
it
case.
really?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah, it's a case, and this. So she got me this Bible when it was the first year because me and her met right after during all this point in my time in my life, and the shifts going on, and she got me that for the first anniversary of coming out of the woods alive, and then she got me this and like some highlighters and some just this bookmark. It says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles." And so she got that for me this year for my the second anniversary of it.
Hell
so
yeah.
Super cool chick. We go to a church up in Springs, Discovery Church, Colorado, man, and she got me going there, and She just pushes me to become better, man.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's good. That's
for
how it should be. Because when you feel at your lowest times, you feel like she's probably like feeling at her lowest times too. But you don't see that shit. You fucking see like a strong woman,
Yep.
keeping a hand on her shoulders.
Yeah,
But low key,
and
like she's probably going through it, and she's over here fucking keeping you on your toes. And it's like, God damn, so much love involved into it. I know.
Exactly
it's like,
what it is, man. They,
like what does my heart have to think about this? Like, oh no, I want that. That's nice.
Girls are strong, man.
Oh, yeah,
like you
man.
could never even have a clue that they're going through something, because guys, we get blinded, like we get blinded, we get comfortable, we get just, and like for me, something that I've realized is like you can be there for somebody, like you can be there like physically, but are you there emotionally and like soulfully for that person? Like
there's a difference.
There's a huge difference. And
Yeah.
if you don't know, you might want to check, you might want to figure it out because it will smack you in the face and you don't want that.
Yeah.
Like,
Real shit.
Your people need you. And like there's a reason. So have those deep conversations, like sit down, have those deep conversations and be open, because like as men, we get like, I don't know about you, but like for me, I get my head like just focused on something and I'm like, I'm going after it, and I want to be successful so bad, and like it makes me feel like the weight is on my shoulders to do all these things, and you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour and you can't stop, and like you don't just stop to slow down and see what is sitting right in front of you.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Like, and that's something that I've been doing for too long, and it caught up with me real quick. But slow down, like have those conversations, and it don't matter if it's your relationship with you, a significant other. It don't matter if it's your mom. Don't matter if it's your dad. Like have those deep conversations. Like I feel like as a society we've moved away from that because of like our cellular devices, man. Like everybody just wants to be on their phones constantly instead of just sitting right here and just having a conversation, People forgot how to have a conversation with words instead of like being on a text message, that's just me. Anyways,
no, I agree,
man.
Dude. I agree. I've been trying to implement that a little more in my life these past few months, actually, because I've low key, I don't talk about that side of my life because I don't want people to see that part of me. That's just like the man kind of side. It's like I don't want. It's like the stigma. It's like if people see like you as a man like struggling, they're like, oh, he's vulnerable. Well, it's not necessarily I'm vulnerable. It's like I'm human too. Like we're all going through shit. Like I got a lot of shit on my plate that I'm dealing with, that I feel like I'm fucking getting just quartered, and I'm receiving so many punches, so many blows, and I'm just having to defend myself. I'm getting out of it, I'm slipping them, but I'm still like ending up right back in the same place, So I've been trying to have more of a connection with when I do talk with my family members, like my dad. I've been trying to get more in touch with my grandmas and my grandparents, with my family. My brother, my dad, my sister. It's hard. Just a whole bunch of shit. Like people see a lot of shit on here and they think, oh, okay, that's just how he is. That is a side of me. I won't lie, but there's also the other side of me where it's like I don't want people to see that side right now. It will come out when it comes out. Like now, I mean, dude, I feel open to talking about anything because this is just raw, and it's
I told you this was gonna get deep, man.
Exactly. So let's just get deep into it. So it's like I live with my dad. My sister lives with us. My parents got divorced a few years ago. That necessarily didn't really have an effect on me. I mean, they've always had their issues, but when getting divorced, it felt kind of like a relief. But a whole bunch of shit happened. Like I grew up very dynamic with constant change too. I'm moving from place to place. As I was young, I didn't think about it. I'm young. I'm 5 years old. I'm 7. We're moving to another place. I'm not aware of what's going on. When I started turning like 8, and then after that, it was different because I was originally in Springs. I lived, born and raised in Springs. Grew up there until I was 8. My dad lost his job, and we got evicted from our home, so we had to leave. And my mom was just living with us. She wasn't like paying any bills or anything, and they had their problems. They weren't like they were together but not together. You know what I'm saying? It was just a real toxic relationship. So when we moved, it was just me, my sister, my brother, and my dad. We were young at this time. My sister was probably like 2 or 3. So it was still the 3 of us. My brother's out of the house now. He's on doing his own thing, but that's another problem on itself. So we moved to Pueblo. We go stay with my grandma. This is back when she was young and could, kind of walk around and function as an adult. Now she's gotten very older and a lot sicker and more fragile. So hopefully she's lives quite a while. Let's see. That's another problem of itself, So yeah, we get there, and since then, things just kind of took a turn of effect. I feel like.
How old are you? Where are you
8.
talking right now? 8?
I was 8 years old when all this happened. Got to Pueblo. I just turned 9. I was doing real good in school back in Springs. I started. I was always been like kind of up and down as a child in spring or in school, like my behavior wise. But then I kind of got my hand on my shoulders and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do good. Like at that age, I had I chose to kind of do better in school. And then once we moved, it was different because I felt like attachment. Like I was young, all this shit happened. I missed my friends. I missed all the shit I had back in Springs. I was like, I want that. Like I don't know anybody here. Like I was just like typical shit. But from there, my whole life changed, man. My whole life changed. Now I'm thinking back on it. At that age, I don't know we all have the same kind of perspective. We don't think we'd be in the position we are today looking back. But growing up was rough. Moving from place to place. We stayed in that place for a very long time, 4 years, but within that place, my mom and dad fought a whole bunch. My brother was not rebellious, but he wasn't really around a lot. He'd be off with his friends doing his own thing. So I was alone a lot. And then when my brother was there, I appreciated it. Like we had fun growing up. Growing up in Springs, we did a whole bunch of shit. But moving here, we kind of like did our own thing. My grades kind of went downhill. My behavior kind of went downhill. Coming here, everything just kind of went downhill. Like I felt like lost, like a detachment. Right. Real sad. Still sad, I won't lie. Fast forward, graduated 8th grade. Parents got divorced. This was like kind of the tip of the spear where shit just started to kind of go even more downhill. I thought things couldn't go more downhill than this. I thought this was normal, everything going on. Of course it wasn't. I'm 12 years old seeing all this shit going on. It's not normal. People who know me personally know that they know. People who know us personally know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yep.
So yeah, graduated 8th grade, went on to high school. Whole bunch of shit happened. This is kind of when my parents separated. They got into a big dispute where legal shit kind of had to get into effect. And then from there, shit just went bonkers. I went to high school here. I was going to go to Peyton. Shit happened. My dad was in jail. My mom was not in jail, but she kind of had say-so of what was going on. And I was just like, no, I don't want to move again. Like, you're making me move again because all this shit happened. We just got, we were staying at that place for 4 years. Now we're not living in that place anymore because my dad went to jail and he can't pay the bills and shit's going bad. Yeah, so I'm living with my uncle, living with him, staying with him. We're doing a whole bunch of shit. He's not in a good place himself, but just being around, I guess, like a father figure, kind of like a mentor figure. I needed that in my life at that time, Yeah. Not necessarily. I love all the memories I created with my uncle, but there's definitely some toxicity in there. But shit just has not been the same. I definitely can say I grew up pretty rough.
Yeah.
And I've been through a lot of experiences myself where I can say those experiences now have probably made me the mellow, chill person I am today, because I don't really take like offense.
Would you change it?
Oh my god. That's a hard question. Maybe being so young, I would say yeah, I would change a few of the things because I don't want to go through that shit, you know? But
Nobody should have to, but
exactly.
and like the stuff that I've been through, I wouldn't change a bit of it.
Mhm.
Would not change a second of it, because at the end of the day, who would I be if that didn't happen?
Yeah.
You know, like where would I be?
Mhm.
Would I be as strong as I am today?
Yeah.
Like, would I be where I'm at today
Exactly.
without all the things that happened?
Exactly.
In my life? Oh, like that's where I.
No, I agree. I see your point of view.
know?
I think of that too. But then again, like, yeah, no person should go
No,
through that. But
100%.
God has a plan for you. If there is God or not, there's a plan, bestowed for you. And I feel like that is just kind of leading up to my ultimate plan. Like what I'm destined to be. Whether I think about it a lot, it could be bad, it could be good, because you can end up prison like that. Snap of a fingers. Shit. I mean, this is kind of off topic, but not really. I bought a gun, and it was an AR. And the gun, the gun owner or whoever works there who sold me the gun, they don't know if I'm going to fucking use that to go, create violence. I'm the only person who knows that. So it's just like you can make a choice that could screw up your life real quick, real fast, or you can make some choices that could steer you down the direction, you want to go, So that's like create some goals, get a mindset. Moving back to earlier, even now, I'm struggling. Like, I still live with my dad. My sister, troublemaker, jeez. At her age, what she's doing, I get it. I understand. You shouldn't be going through this at that age as a kid. You need more love, attention. You need someone, be there and talk to you, But still, think about the choices you're making, and think about where you want to go in the future. Is this going to help you get there? No, it's not. It's going to get you places where you don't want to be. So, I mean, yeah, there's just a whole...
Do you talk to her about that?
No, because our relationship isn't that good right now. It's like so like tension. Like this is probably the family is the only like anger, like I feel like rage where I want to retaliate, because it's like it's been built up for so long. This has been happening for so many years. I feel this, towards someone, and it's hard to kind of like open up and break.
Well, it's cool that you broke those chains, like, and you being the person that you are, like. You are setting a path for your sister, like in your actions, and actions speak a lot louder than words. And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? So the way that you're going about things it's awesome, man. That's a younger sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing that older brother thing where you're like leading by example, and if you're going in that right path, she's at some point she's gonna follow. Like how old are you?
I'm 20. She's 12.
You're 20 and she's 12. Oh yeah, she's got a long life ahead of her. Yeah, hasn't even hit the Just keep being that big brother for her, dude.
You.
Get back. Like I thought she was like. I figured you were like 22 and she was, like 20 or something.
No, yeah.
Yeah, get back to that. Like, if you can, be that older brother for her and show her, hey, like, I don't know your situation with her, but if she's, like, disrespectful, hey, like, you can do it. You can take that and feed it elsewhere, Yeah. So... be that older brother for her and that big brother, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I needed those words. I need to hear that more often, because it makes me feel better about myself, and it also makes me want to push to be better, because I hear that a lot. My family obviously doesn't want their family to fight, especially grandparents and parents. Yeah. So when they see that, they feel angered and triggered, So it's like, I don't want to be that person. I want to be the person like my grandparents and parents are like, all right. Like, yeah, like they see the love, you know what I'm saying? So
it is, man. That's
all love.
Yeah, all love for sure. Hey, I got a question for you.
What's up?
I was thinking about this when you were talking about, like, what were you? Oh, you were talking about, like, being, like, sad or something like that, and, like,
Yeah.
feeling emotions and stuff. Do you think that, like, our society has put us to where, like, you, like, with Facebook and social media and all these things in your life looks all great, but then like behind those deals, like everybody has their own side of things where,
Yeah. Speak on it. Get a
you
little
can
more in
like,
depth.
so
Like,
man,
what are you
I
trying
feel
to?
like, so with you,
Yeah. What's the
okay,
question?
you are a super like awesome influential person to a lot of people, like, and if you people heard you on Facebook and like on your podcast and stuff, without us getting deep right here today,
Yep.
would anybody ever know that about you?
Not
Probably not, huh?
nobody that's not like no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody. Even like people I run like this with, they wouldn't know because I want to.
You
Man.
keep it low, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
keep it low.
about to shed some tears real quick. This is getting real, bro. I like it. I like it. That's the whole point about this. But yeah, I want to keep it low because I don't. It's weird because I feel like it'll change the viewpoint of the relationship. Not only like I feel will they like look at me a little different. I mean, they'll be friends ultimately. Like they'll be supportive, but they'll see me a different way. They'll also see that side of me. It can be different. It can be me just overthinking it too and just being like stubborn and not wanting to open up that side. But it's like I feel like if I give out that vulnerability to multiple people, there's I don't know. I don't know. It's just like something about feeling vulnerable in those points. You feel
Being
like
a man, dude. It's
yeah.
like your man's mentality. Like, so as a cowboy, like, you don't cry, right? Men are not supposed to cry. You have that toughness. Men aren't supposed to cry. Everybody, like, you just have this like sense of, I'm not like, okay, I'll use this. I'm not a pussy. I'm not a pussy. I'm not supposed to cry. I'm supposed to do all these things. And I feel like a society has said all of these things on a man when in reality, we're all human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And for me personally, like, and I know it's exactly what you're saying. Like, you think that when people see that side of you, like, they're going to think different of you. I've started realizing, like, why do I even want those people in my life if I can't share the true me with them?
That's true.
Like, why do I want to be a part of somebody's life that wants to see, like, a fake me? Why can't I not actually just be me? I want to be me, bro. Like, so... Oh, what's that? Surfs Up? Is it Surfs Up with the Penguins?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or is it Surf's Up has some penguins in it, but Happy Feet. Or Happy Feet or Surf's Up?
Surfs Up,
Okay.
bro. And he's like, oh man, I gotta pull this up now because I love it, dude. I love this freaking. He's like, who's Cody, bro? I'm Cody. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, it's been so long since I've seen it. You're gonna have to pull it up for me so I can reference it.
Yeah, man. So I love this because he's, oh man, it hits me at home.
I see what you're saying though. I feel like I think I should open up more to like my circle because it'll relieve, that stress and that tension I've been feeling. Even if it's just like this, I feel like just having a deep raw conversation with you, me and you are now like establish ourselves on a friendship personal level. So even like if I go to a Wednesday group, I'm able to like just feel comfortable to open up about shit like this, But it's, yeah, I feel like I should because it'll make me feel better. It'll make me feel like I got something off my chest. Because there's a lot of shit I got on my chest, man. A lot of shit that, I mean, I bounce it back and forth with, my dad. I've definitely bounced some ideas off him. He's been supportive and some friends too, but I keep it in. Keep it
All
in.
right.
Go ahead.
It's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Let's see if this is it real quick. Dude, I love this part, like, of this movie. I don't know why, but he's like...
So, why are you guys here to interview me?
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. You want me to hold it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
Just you know, they're easy.
Okay.
Can you stand on that box right there, please?
Oh, yeah,
Just stand
yeah,
up
yeah.
on that. Thanks. It's
Right there.
Thank you.
Whoa, what is that? What is that?
It's a sound thing. It's a microphone.
It is Sir
What's up,
Scott.
man? I'm Cody.
And you're what, 14, 15 years old?
17 years of age.
And any other skills besides surfing?
Like what? Like singing and dancing?
Yeah.
No, not me, man. I just surf.
Cut it out, Glenn. Stop, man. You know, we're here to make a movie about Cody.
Why does he have to be there?
It's gonna be great. Can I get in line now to not see it?
Well, since we're talking about surfing, why don't you give us your thoughts about surfing?
Surfing. Where do I start?
How about just at the beginning?
Okay, well, so as soon as there was the first wave, right? There was the first surfer. All they needed was like some piece of driftwood, a block of ice or something like that. And then they were off. And they were hooked, man. They were hooked.
Maybe I shouldn't put it up to the microphone for copyright reasons. I wasn't thinking about that. But I like
I
the
don't know
audio.
either. Yeah, I don't know. I feel
These
like...
guys were the pioneers, but nobody saw what surfing could really be until Big Z did it.
Can you tell us who Big Z was?
Who is Big Z? He wasn't afraid to die.
That's powerful.
I was trying to find a mute button. I stopped the recording, so I had to press play again. God damn it.
Man, just...
I feel like it'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And suddenly there he was. Just floating over the waters, hovering, like weightless. Could have walked up to anyone. And he walks right up to me. And he gives me this awesome, one-of-a-kind Big Z necklace. And then he tells me, kid, never give up. Find a way, because that's what winners do. He was the greatest. Everyone looked up to him, respected him, loved him. And one day I'm gonna be just like him.
That is powerful.
So that was like... Still, it didn't even...
Didn't kind of summarize what you were trying to get into.
Yeah, so he goes in, he's like... Cody's me. I'm Cody. I wish I could find...
Research shows nostalgia can help.
Anyways, yeah, I don't even remember why we even got on to
You were
that,
getting into
dude.
because sad and how we have to express ourselves, and Cody was expressing himself the way
here it is, dude. Let me be me.
Away.
To go away. That's great.
Do you guys want a drink?
Gotta run away.
They don't want to drink.
Responsibility and life.
This is unique. This is not the norm. So
When is this not happening?
what? Don't make that noise, Cody.
It's really disrespectful. I would never do that.
I just wouldn't make it out of your mouth.
You know what?
Difference between you and me.
You know what? I can't do this anymore.
Mom, look what you did.
This is for me. This isn't for you. Why is Glenn still here?
Yeah, exactly. Mom.
I don't understand why everybody has to be so judgmental. I understand why mom's judgmental. I think it's because she cares partially. I think it's also partially because everyone else is looking at her like, hey, Cody's just a bum. Cody's this, Cody's that, Cody's this. Cody's me, bro. Let me be me. When is that gonna start?
That is powerful.
Oh man.
Like, that right there has spoke to me on so many levels. Like, do you know who you are? Like, because I go through phases
I know.
where I'm like, bro, who am I? Like, why? What is going on? Like, and then, like, and sometimes I feel like your friends and the people that you surround yourself with is what kind of like causes that in your social media and stuff, and like looking at different people's lives that you see all the good, you see all the glamorous stuff, but do you see the bad? Do you ever see the bad stuff? I hope not. It shouldn't be. I'm probably not going to post that stuff on social media, right?
Exactly.
But my point of that is like, I don't know. Me as a person, I don't want to involve I don't want to be around those people anymore that don't want me to be me. Like, I want the people that know me, and like whether it's the bad me showing up today or if it's the good me showing up today, like they're gonna be there. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's.
No, I know what you're saying, man. I agree. We should express our raw selves more often to people, and that'll kind of see who wants to be around you or not.
Oh yeah,
you know?
quick.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
find out who your friends are real fast,
Yeah.
and you there's so many. I don't even remember what I found it, but you go through so many different people in your lifetime, like friends and stuff that why am I gonna waste time with fake friendships anymore? Because I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's kind of...
little raw topic.
Yeah, it got deep.
It
quick.
did. I like
told
that.
you, man. When you asked me, I was like, "Are you sure?
I'm
positive?"
Sure. I'm way positive. I'm all for deep conversation because then I get to get out of my shell, and if it gets deep, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna fucking just open up. Why not? There's shit I gotta get off my chest, and you can't just hold that shit in.
And
you know?
dude, everybody, I don't care. I don't know how many people like listen to your stuff or see this, man, but like everybody's got a story.
Yep.
Everybody's got a story, and I don't care where you come from. Like, you're going through stuff that I might not understand. You might not understand what I'm going through, but every single person in this world is going through something. And hey, if maybe this is this is what you do to like touch other people and reach out to them, and like, when they hear this and they see this, like they know, okay, wow, I'm not alone. Like, I'm not the only person going through these things. Like, and there is actually people out there that understand me, or that's cool to me. That's why I was like, you know what?
It is cool. Is that
I was
why you
nervous,
decided to?
dude. I was nervous to like get onto it, like go onto
you
a
told
podcast.
me at first.
And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, and then I got thinking about it, and I was like, because there's so much in my firefighter career that I have to learn, dude.
Me too,
like,
man.
So much that I got to learn.
And that's where I understand. That's where I don't show any hate towards that, because I understand where you were coming from, because being so young and starting this so young, I can see what older people think of this. I've asked a few older firemen that work for Pueblo. I was like, hey, would you like to be a guest? This is what I do. And they're like, nah, that's not my thing. But I know they recommended me to a few other people, which is cool because they support it, but I totally get it, man.
Yeah, no, there's so many people out there that have been doing this so much longer that, I would rather them talk about, this career and stuff. And I spoke on it a little
we got
bit,
into life experiences more, which was real good. I like that.
That's what I was like, you know what, dude? Like, I got a story. And
it just
it's a
needs
story
to be told.
that I want to tell, man. Like,
good.
I want to tell the world. So thank you for having me onto this and being able to share it. And
thank you for being on.
I hope that this reaches other people, and you're not alone. Like, it don't matter. Like, just reach out to somebody. Like, there's been, too many in the fire service and our military and just everyday life, people that are ending their own lives because they're fighting demons that nobody even knows about, man. Like, why? Like, why do we feel like we can't talk to somebody about these things and, like, reach out for help because we're men, or because we just feel too strong, or like you said, you don't want people to, like, see the real you sometimes, and see that dirty side of your life, to, like, you making you, and that don't mean that you have to do it to everybody, the people that you're close to, they're like, open up, man. Like, find somebody that you can trust in and, like, talk with. That's, dude, it will make you better at the end of the day, because some people have, like I said, everybody's got an own story, and if you share something with somebody, they're probably going to share something with you, and you can learn off of them, and they might learn off of you. And, like, my purpose is to be a sponge, dude. I want to be a sponge, and I know that sounds stupid, but a sponge soaks everything up, soaks your water up. Like, I want to be a sponge. Like, there's so much knowledge and stuff that I have to learn, and when I get to be that older dude at the firehouse, I can pour back into the younger crowd and stuff. That's my goal.
That's good.
Be a sponge, soak everything up that you can.
Yeah. So have you like performed CPR or been on any, like, crazy calls? Have you been on any structure fires?
Yeah, been on a few structure fires. Been on a few cardiac arrests, quite a bit of cardiac arrests.
With Rye or Beulah?
Both. Yeah, both. Yeah, dude, Rye is a place that, if you do have your EMT and you do have some fire certs, and you don't have much experience, it is a great place to go and get experience. You see everything. It's a tiny town, small town, but it's still a big district. You cover a lot of ground. You got wildland, you got structure, you got if you like medicine, you got all the medicine you want to, because you got a 45-minute drive to the hospital. So you're, like, being in the back of that ambulance, you got to be dialed in, because you got a 45-minute ride to the hospital. So you're those guys, like, I will never be able to speak, like, my shift leader at Rye, she's just, man, she's got a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge.
She a medic?
She is a medic, yep. And she is amazing, just an amazing medic. And like I said, 45 minutes to the hospital, like, you got to be dialed in with your medicine to,
Who's performing care in the back while you're doing that drive? Is it going to be the medic, or have you performed care driving to the hospital before?
So, I am actually still in the middle of getting my National Registry EMT test done. So when I was with Rye, I was the bus driver. I would drive the bus, and then you got an EMT and you got a medic. And if it's cardiac arrest, something like that, yeah, they're both going to be in there. EMT's helping get the medic exactly what she needs or he needs.
So you have two people in the back, and you got a driver too?
Two people and a driver.
Sweet. Nice.
Yep. So they can work that patient and, get them where they need to be, get further medical help.
Okay.
Yeah, like, that's what people don't understand with, like, being that far out. AMR's got, maybe 10-minute, 15-minute trip to the hospital. But when you're that far out from a hospital, man, it's when I've watched them pull off some pretty miraculous stuff out there.
Sweet.
But Rye's cool, man. need to grow a little bit.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
agree.
You know,
I've
they
been
need
trying
to
to get my
grow,
foot in out the door.
but you get everything. I mean, you really do get experience with everything. It's a great place to go and work at if you get the chance.
Nice. Yeah, I'd love to, but last time I spoke with them, they were looking for more ALS people. So like when
Yeah.
I was trying to get my foot in the door out there, I did make a mistake with the interview, so that was like strike one.
Did you not wear a suit to your interview?
Did someone speak about that?
What did you wear to your interview?
Oh my god. Oh well, okay, I wore sweats and a t-shirt. I did not dress up for the interview at all, man. I totally did not think it was an interview, even though it said interview at this time. I was like so unprepared. I got there, I was like, oh cool, yeah, I'm meeting with this guy. Yeah, blew it. Yeah. Did anybody speak about it out there?
I just heard that you like just. I don't even remember. I think like a cutoff sleeve shirt or something.
Yeah, not a cutoff sleeve, but it was like a t-shirt.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody said like you showed up in sweatpants, and they liked like talking to you and like they liked you as a person, but they were like, you showed up in sweatpants and a t-shirt to an interview.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was definitely. Don't ever do that.
Don't ever do that.
If you have an interview with the fire department, any fire department, Rye. I'm sorry, Rye. Anywhere, do not go in sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Suits,
dress,
sports coat, and me like I don't look very good in. I don't like suits. I feel very uncomfortable. I don't like them whatsoever. So me as a Cowboy, I crease my jeans, polish my boots. I got a sports coat, tie. That too is look professional when you show up to an interview.
Absolutely.
Present yourself as I am a professional, and this is what I want to do. Yeah. So don't ever show up and
it's great looking back on it. A laughing moment, and like stupid for sure. They liked me, and I had a good conversation with everyone too. I was like, "Hey, what's your name? Hey, what's your name? My name's."
Yep. I heard it. I heard nothing but good things about the interview besides showing up in a.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience.
You probably would have got on.
I think I probably would have got. Yeah, that was pretty much not what he said, but that was the biggest thing. Like he said, like the other one was like professionalism, like sir, like don't basic stuff. It's like interviewing for any other like big agency, But yeah, definitely. Probably would have got the position if I did not show up like that. But I'm going to keep, like, trying to get my foot out there.
Yeah, man. I definitely, if I was you, I'd hit them up again because I'm pretty sure they're still looking. So hit them up again and be like, hey, look, I'm sorry. I messed up. I didn't realize what I was coming into. Even though my paper said I had an interview. Dude, just be honest with me, man.
Yeah.
And there's some really cool people there that will... like take you and be like, okay, he really did not know. Like, let's give him a shot.
Yeah.
And there's some good people there, so hit him up and just be honest with him.
Yeah.
Like, you're not with them, so what are you gonna not be working with them even more?
Got a point there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a point there. So how's your wildland career been? Any crazy experiences or stories that you have with that?
I love wildland.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, honestly, that's before I got into, my goals kind of changed a little bit. Like, instead of being out on a shot crew and, when you're on a shot crew, you're gone. You are gone, and I went from that, my goal, to creating a life with the person that I love, and those are my goals. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Like, your perspective just changes around a little bit, and I can still do that and be a firefighter. So I would rather be here building my family and building the life that I want instead of gone. So I fell in love with wildland. Sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes it's just chill. There's there's nothing like it. Honestly, I agree, dude. Like, when you're eating smoke like that,
Very
and
true. Yep.
it's crazy, man. Like, so we were in Wyoming. This is probably the craziest one I've been on. Dude, this fire was pushing up this valley, and it was pushing hard. Wind was coming in, storm was rolling in, and we were trying to get it. We were trying to burn it off, like because it was running. It's taking a hard run at us. So we tried burning off a section. And if you don't know, like, wildland is fighting fire with fire, and that's how you get it contained. So they call it big boxing, that. And they call it, like, in California, that's what they do. That's why these little fires turn into these huge fires.
Down in Mexico happened.
They big box, and they burn it off and they let that fire run up to where you already burned off at. And people think that it's a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing for the forest. It's a great thing for the forest. When you see the land come back the next year or a couple years down the road better than it was, that's how you know, like, especially fields. Why do you think farmers and stuff burn their fields off? Because the next year it comes back greener than ever. It's the same thing in the forest. But anyways, we burned this off, burned a big old stretch off, and it did not work out for us. It didn't work out at all. And
Was it the
it
winds,
went from
the weather?
bad to worse really quick. I mean, really quick. Fire spotted way across, and got the fields behind us. It got the valley behind us, and honestly, it went from like a nice day to it looked like we were in hell. Honestly, like, it just blew up on top of us, and we were stuck. We burned out around. We took our trucks and parked in spots that was already burned off, which was rough because it wasn't a very clean burn. It was actually a really dirty burn. So it was still pretty hot, melted all the stickers and everything off the truck. Tires were burned up. It was hot, dude, sitting in the truck and just watching, just like, you're like, oh, this is not good. It's you feel like a baked potato, but that one, it was crazy. That fire blew up, and you want to talk about some crazy fire activity, man. It was cool. Then Texas this year, Texas was sick, man. Like, the way they do things, their woods are just so thick and heavy that everything, if there's a fire that pops off, they haul a dozer in, put a line around it, and we go back and burn it all off.
Oh, sweet.
Man.
Okay,
So we
gotcha.
burn off that dozer line, and you burn, and we pop a few fires every day, and I mean, we were just ripping fire, like, the whole time we were there. It was sick, man. It was so cool. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Texas, make sure that you have some sort of burn operations task book opened up, because you will feel it while you're there. In 2 weeks, you will probably feel it.
Nice.
I wish that I would have had my task books open for that one, because, dude, it was, we burned everything.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the guys would be like, here in Colorado, if you're on a fire, you don't leave that fire until there is no smoke, it is cold. Not in Texas, man. They just run their own world there. We light it up, and it's just, 100-foot flame lengths, and we're leaving. They're like, all right, pack it up, let's go.
Hell yeah. That's funny.
Like, you guys are crazy, man.
Texas
This
is
thing
different.
it's different. There's a few times we got
got
called
balls.
back, like, because we'd light it up and then load up and leave. I'm like, I don't think this is smart. What if it spots over? They're like, oh, don't worry about that. It's like, okay. So there's a couple of times we had to go back because it did end up spotting over our line and caught quite a bit more. Do the same thing. All right, put a line around it and burn it off. Shit. Load it up. Let's go.
Hell yeah. The old Texas way, huh?
I was like, you guys are nuts, dude.
Damn.
They're like fighting fire in cowboy boots and like,
Oh, really?
Oh man,
They don't
they're
give a
crazy.
Yeah, I like
It
that
was cool,
spirit.
man. I
That's some
loved it.
cowboy shit right there.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Wildland. It's just fucking cowboy shit. It's like you got balls or what, son? Like you got balls to do this work or what? Like you gonna fucking be lazy or you gotta? I mean, you can on an engine. Depends what engine you're on. It sounds like the past deployments you've been on with your engine, you've had some work. Well, the one I was on, it was fucking lazy. Like I mean,
It just depends on what role you get on.
that too, yeah. And I feel like it depends on the engine crew too. Like with Atterbury,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've heard him say he's gotten some work. I've heard a few people they worked for him, they got some work, but it just kind of depends on the role too. You're right.
It's definitely who's in your truck, how much of a go-getter they are, what
Yeah.
role you're on, what division soup you got. Like,
Oh, very true, dude. There's this task force leader who was just fucking balls to the wall. He was like, dude, yeah, let's fight this son of a bitch.
yeah.
He's like, let's
and
burn
then
it.
some of them are like, eh.
Yeah. All
Just,
nice.
let's just
and
watch
shit.
it. Yeah, just sit here and watch it. Like, I don't really want to just sit here and watch it.
I
Like,
know.
it's,
Yeah, that task force leader was fucking sick, though. I like that guy.
I like there's a couple. They turned us into hand crews. They took all the engines and just turned us into hand
Oh,
crews.
word.
And we'd go and hike around, and those are that finding sheds. And I don't know if you probably you weren't here. That fire that was out in Lahana, dude.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I heard about it.
Boy,
Was it
that
bad?
sucker, that burned hot and fast.
Oh, yeah.
And it's swampy over there for some reason. Like,
Oh,
it
okay.
burned straight through a swamp. Super weird, but, bro, that thing burned up. It was so fast that everywhere you walked pretty much was, like, dead deer. Like,
Oh, shit.
it caught them fast. You could tell they were running for their lives. And
Damn.
Like, I wish I would have been there to see, like, that fire activity and how fast it was moving that day, because,
It was going quick.
yeah.
Yeah, it was all the right factors. The fuel was right, the weather was right. Two big
Yeah.
things right there. And I mean, the fuel was it wasn't even tall. All that shit out in the Lahana, all that shit out there, like small shrub brush, probably like up to here. I mean, it's tall. It's enough to catch fire and fucking produce really, really extensive heat and flames because it's so dry, you know. And then once it catches to, it doesn't even have to directly hit it. That radiant heat just hits something else, and boom, it's on fire. And now you got that wildfire going on. It's spreading.
So if there is anybody out here that listens that is a firefighter or a wildland firefighter specifically, let me just find this podcast.
Is it
Conscious Fire Culture. Have you listened to that?
No, I've heard the Anchor Point podcast. So have you heard that
The
one?
Anchor Point's good. Yeah. So Conscious Fire Culture is super good stuff. Like, so they're super aware of
What's it
this
called again?
last year.
Conscious
Fire Culture.
Okay.
The amount of suicide rate in the wildland industry has gone up so much in this last even just this last year alone. It's just insane how much it's gone up. And I don't know if you've gotten to experience it, it only being on 3 rolls, but especially with them being local, when you are gone for so long and you're in the, like, you're gone for that long and then you come back into society and into civilization, it's weird. And it's different, and it's a weird feeling. It's an awful feeling. For me, like, I was drinking too much. Like, I would come home and I felt like
You didn't feel right.
I didn't feel right,
Yeah.
man. It's hard to explain to somebody, and I turned it into drinking, and I which wasn't a good thing. But if you are like a wildland firefighter and like struggling with stuff, make sure you're reaching out to somebody, because I don't know if you
Please.
know who Ben Strand is.
Yes, please reach out to someone.
Ben Strand is he's super cool guy. He's can't remember. He's on a shot. I can't remember.
Eldorado.
Eldorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's a soup.
Yep. He's a soup for Eldorado. Super cool guy. Reach out to him. Like, he will message you back. He will message you back, and he will help put you on the right path.
I don't know how many people on the crew I was with struggle with mental health. It was an insane number. Even though it was only probably 50 people in the lodge we were at, it was an insane number. And it's like, I've expressed this before. I was like, listen, I wasn't saying it to be that guy. I was saying it because I've seen the numbers with Wildland, and I see working with these guys, building a connection with them. I do not want them to feel, how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Speaking about that earlier, and I don't have anybody to talk to about that. You know what I'm saying? I want them to feel like they have someone to talk to, and that they're not alone. You're going through shit. Yeah, you don't gotta hide it. There's multiple people.
Too, with that, you don't even have to necessarily tell somebody, hey, I'm here for you. It's the way that you're showing up and presenting yourself, too, I think. Because it don't matter how many times you tell somebody, hey,
yeah,
talk to me. I'm here, unless you're actually showing up as their friend every single day and legitimately a friend and not a fake friend. They're gonna open up at some point.
Very true.
They will, 100%. So, you should definitely go and check that podcast out, though, man, because they're doing some cool things with firefighters. They're going and taking them and they do a whole ceremony thing where they put them on a trip and they wash their feet and they I think it's ayahuasca. I'm not 100% positive on that, so if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe that it's medicine, it's natural medicine, pretty much, that they're using it, and it's helping a lot of people. So if you're military, anything, PTSD, it might be a route for you, because it's changing a lot of people's lives. You need to go check that out, dude. It's cool, man. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please,
because it's crazy. Nice. Honestly, it's awesome.
Shrooms are making it psychedelics in general.
Yep.
Just making it a little.
It is even. I mean, doctors are prescribing microdoses of mushrooms and acid to people.
Yeah.
And it's helping a lot. It's medicinal. At this point, So I don't know. It hits some different realm in your brain or something. I don't know what it is, but it's cool stuff that's going on. But
it's good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, we've been going on for longer than 2 hours. How
long is it?
Well, when I tried to mute it because of that video, I accidentally pressed stop. So right there, it was an hour and 40 minutes. And then I pressed play again, and now it's 30 minutes. So an hour and 40 minutes, probably an hour or 2 hours and 10, 2:15, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Been going on for a fat minute.
Yeah.
It's good. I love the raw conversation. What time is it?
It is 8:30.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Jesus.
So, hey, man, I appreciate you having me on.
I'm glad that I got
to share a little bit of
Thank you for being on. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Seriously.
Anytime. And if, we can talk about that later. If you ever want to be back on, you want to talk about something else, hit me up. We'll do it again.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
All right, man.
This has been another episode of the Ambitious Riders Podcast. And I got an ambitious rider right here, Dakota Forsythe, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
You got it.
Deserves a clap right there. Tune in, because a lot of cool shit is happening. And this interview is going to go live soon. So, yeah, I'll catch you later for the next episode. Peace. Nice.